if you want to go back to it and do it later, pick it up, or if there's a time when you can't make it, I can send you the access to the link for the recording. Right, okay, and I will endeavour to work out how to get the screen to turn for next time. Let's see. Speak of you, yeah, okay. Right, so standing, inside edges of feet together, toes out, heels out. I'm going to see if I can just tilt my screen a bit more so that you get a bit more view. Right, that should be better.
Oh, when you move back, can you speak up a bit, please?
Yes, I don't know why my sound is quite low today. I'm just seeing if I can, it's been, that's not the wrong thing. It's been, don't think that's going to make any difference. Shirley, you don't know where volume is, do you? Mm-hmm. Right. I'm just gonna have to
on your own
speak
computer.
louder.
Nothing on your own computer in the bottom anywhere. No.
Right. I'm just going to have a look and see if I can find a volume. Reactions, pause, recording, share, chat, participants.
For me, you are loud enough, but maybe so. I don't know. Is everybody finding everybody else?
No, I can hear. I'm okay.
You're okay, right?
Yeah.
I can't turn my speakers up anymore to hear you. When you move right back, I can't hear you.
Okay, I'll try and project a bit more.
Project, darling, project.
I'll work out how to actually see if I can increase the volume. Okay, just bring your chin down towards your collarbones and then lift your head back up again. And again, chin down, lift your head back up. And then as you exhale, turn and look over one shoulder. Come back to center, look over the other. And then shrug your shoulders up towards your ears and roll them back and down. And then lift them up and bring them forwards. And then from there, take your hands to your hips and take your feet a bit wider. So they're about shoulder width apart. And then take your hip out to the side. Take it back, out to the other side, pubic bone forward. So circling the pelvis. And then take it the other way. And then think figure of 8, think infinity. So bring one hip forward, take it back as far as you can, and then swap over. Bring the other hip forward and take it back. Come back to center and take it the other way. So take one hip back, bring it forward, swap over. And then coming back to center, take your hands above your knees, feet hip width apart, and take your knees in the same direction. And then take them the other way. And then standing back up again, middle fingers in line with outside seams if you've got them, or imaginary ones, just sliding sideways. Coming back up again, sliding the other way. And then taking the arm up towards the ceiling with the palm facing away, over to one side. Coming back, change arm, palm facing away, over to the other side. Take the arm up again, over to one side, And then just ease the elbow back so you're getting more of a stretch through the armpit into the upper arm. And other side. And then coming back, elbows in by the ribs, palms facing up. So turn sideways and then just take the arms out to the side. So imagine your elbows are hinges. And then from there, keep the arms still, soften the knees and turn from the waist. Come back to center. And then from there, take your arms out sideways, so they're out at shoulder height. But don't let the shoulders drift up towards the ears. And then turn one palm to face up, the other palm's facing down. Turn towards the upturned palm. And then change the face of the palms, turning to the other. So rotating one palm up, one palm down. And then release the arms down. Now imagine you're holding a large ball between the hands. So their distance between, if you have the top hand about eye level and the bottom hand about navel level. And then imagine you're rolling that ball, so taking the arms across one another. And then change the top hand. So rolling the ball across and then bringing it back and swapping over. And release. And then from there, I'm going to step forward. So I've gone back. So I don't go headless off the screen. Just step forward with one leg and take the arms up. So you're keeping both feet on the mat, on the floor, taking the arms up and then release them back down. Again, bend the knee, lift the back heel next time you take the arms up. And then release back down. Coming up again, lifting the back heel and then drop the arms down. So you're coming onto the big toe, so the weight comes forward a bit further. And then taking the foot back down again. Lift up, take the arms back like wings, and then see if you can just lift that back foot. Don't worry if you can't. Take it back down again and swap over. So swap over to the other leg, put the other foot forward, come forward, bend the knee. So you're getting a stretch through the back leg. And then take the arms back down. Lift up again, lift the back heel. And back down. Lift up again, lift the back heel, arms coming back. So you're bringing the weight a bit further forward. Release that back foot down and once more lift up. Heel comes up, arms go back and then see if you can lift the back foot and then coming back down again. Right, I'm going to come and see if I can move myself a little bit further back. What I'm trying to get is my feet, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do that without being able to turn the screen. Right. Oh, done it. Halfway back that further back again. Right, so think about having your feet together. And now turn your toes out. So you're in a Pilates B shape. So the inside of the heels are touching and the toes are turned out. So you should probably start to feel it in the backs of the thighs. Now just think about, we've done this in class before, think about, keep your feet down, but tighten from the heels on the inside of the legs up to about sort of coccyx level. So think about tightening from there. So it's not the buttocks you're tightening, it's tightening the legs. And release. Tighten and release. Tighten and release. Tighten and release. And then bring the arms up into cactus arms. So elbows up about shoulder level, palms facing forwards. And then just squeeze the elbows back. As you squeeze the elbows back, you may well find that the legs tighten all of their own accord. And release. Push back and release. Squeeze back and release. 2 more. And then release the arms down and bring the heel of one foot to the instep of the other, so that your heel is touching the instep and you've still got the toes turning out. So still keeping the feet on the mat. Think about lifting through, tightening from the heels up to the coccyx and release. Tighten and release. Tighten and release. Tighten and release. And then swap foot. So opposite foot on the instep, heel to the instep, and again. Tighten and release. Tighten and release. 3 more. And then from there, still with the toes turned out, have the heels about shoulder width apart and the toes turning out. And then bend the knees, so the knees follow the toes. And then push yourself back up again. And sort of think about pushing from your feet up. So bend the knees and then push into your feet. Bend the knees, push in. Another 3. And then next time you bend the knees, lift the heels up, straighten the legs, and then lower the heels down. Bend, lift, straighten, lower. Bend, lift, straighten, lower. Bend, lift, straighten, lower. Bend, lift, straighten, lower. Once more. Bend, lift, straighten, lower. And then bring the feet back parallel. And then from there, cross one foot over the other. So you've got both feet on the ground. And then roll yourself down towards your feet. Bring yourself back up again. And whichever leg you've got in front, take that arm up alongside your ear. And then over into a side bend. So keep both feet on the mat. And then coming back again. Bring one hand forward, one hand back. So make sure you've got enough room behind you not to knock anything. So develop a slow rhythm, swinging the arms. And then turn to look towards the back arm. Release the arms, uncross the legs, and cross the other way. So take the arm up alongside the ear, over into a side bend. Release, roll yourself down towards your feet. Bring yourself back up again, one arm forward, one arm back. Look into the back arm. Do you feel steady? Release the arms, uncross the legs. Now, a bit more challenging, heel to toe. So one heel to toe, arms out if you need to, and then take the arms, hands in front of you. And then take one arm back, bring it back, take the other. Keep breathing, don't hold your breath because you're trying to keep the balance. And then release your arms, bring your legs back level and give them a bit of a shake. And then opposite foot in front. Again, heel to toe. Hands together, one arm back, and then the other. And then release the arms, bring the feet back, and again, give them a bit of a shake. And then from there, come down to your mat, or to your floor. So either slide down the front of your thighs, or you can roll yourself down. So coming to kneel down and tuck your toes under. So toes tucking under, and we're coming to the Z spring. So the arms out in front at shoulder height. And then just sit back towards your heels. So giving your toes a stretch. And then bring yourself back up again. Sitting back, coming back up. Another 2. And then bringing your toes back down again. Come to sit with your legs stretched out in front. So, pull the flesh away from your sitting bones. Have your toes pointing up towards the ceiling. So you're getting a stretch on the back of your legs. And then take your arms out in front of you. Navel back, tail tucking under. And then reach towards your toes. And release. Arms parallel to the legs. Hinge forwards. And release. Another 3. And release from there. Bend your knees so your feet are on the mat, but there's a fair space between your heels and your buttocks. And then take your hands underneath the back of your thighs. And then roll back off your sit bones. And then bring your chest towards your thighs. And then stack back up again. Taking yourself back. Bring yourself forwards. And back up. Another 3. And then sitting back up, roll back off your sit bones again, and then take one arm up, the other arm up. Chest towards the thighs, drop the arms down, and then roll back up again. Roll back, one arm, and then the other. Chest to thighs, and stack back up. And then sitting back up again, take the feet wide. So as wide as the space in your mat if you're on a mat, and then take the back of your hand down on the inside of the calf, take the other hand to join it. And then as you inhale, lift the arm up, following it with your eyes, and back down again. 4 more. And then change to the other leg. And then when you've completed your 5th one, bring your hands together, face your left leg, take your hands down towards your left foot, across to your right, arc the right leg, sitting back as far as you can, across the front of the torso. Down as you exhale, back up as you inhale. Next time you get to your right hip, change direction, down to your right foot, across to your left. And then sitting back up, check you've got enough room to take your arms out without knocking into anything. Right arm facing away, right palm facing away, left palm facing forward, still with your feet wide, coming into saw. So taking your left hand down towards your right toes. Coming back up again, change the face of the palms, rotate and dive down. And then coming back to center, bring your feet back. And from here, take the hands out in front of you again, down towards your toes, curl your fingers, take your hands down towards your shins, and then come back as though you were rowing, lifting up, and then taking the hands forward. And then change direction, so down the length of the leg, up towards the toes. And then from there, come back, and they still can see me, elbows down, so the elbows are under the shoulders, and roll your right foot out, so the instep is facing the ceiling, and then lift the leg towards the ceiling from there. When you've done 5, turn that foot back up and turn the left foot out again. Lift with a straight leg up towards the ceiling. And then bring yourself back up and shunt towards the front of your mat. I'm going to come into rolling like a ball. So make sure you've got enough space behind you. Take your hands and feet, hands underneath the back of your thighs, your feet together, lift up onto your sit bones, and then roll yourself back and bring yourself back up again. And then next time you come up, lift your feet up and then see if you can lift your shins. And then from there, take the hands away and raise and lower, coming into 100. So breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Roll yourself forward and just hug your knees so you're stretching the spine out. And then come to lie down in semi-supine. So knees bent up, feet hip width apart. And then take your left hand to your front hip bone. So reminding you to keep your left hip on the floor. Think about opening a book. Let your right knee roll out to the side. So you're rolling to the outer edge of your right foot. And then bring your knee back so it's facing the ceiling. So opening out, keeping the other hip down and bringing it back. Two more. And then with the knee pointing towards the ceiling, lift the foot a little off the mat and small circles on the ceiling, keeping the left buttock down. And then take it the other way. Take that foot down, swap hands, right hand on the front of the right hip, left knee opens out to the side and comes back. When you've done 5, lift that foot and stir. And then 5 in the opposite direction. Take that foot down and then float your right shin into tabletop. So your knees pointing up towards the ceiling. You can still see your big toe above your kneecap. So keep the knee fixed, move from the hip. Exhale, tap the foot to the mat. Inhale, bring it back. Take it away and bring it back. And then swap legs. Check you can see the left big toe. Take it away on the exhalation, bring it back on the inhale. And then from there, take your arms up towards the ceiling. Stretch up as though you're trying to touch the ceiling and then drop the shoulders down. Stretch up, drop the shoulders down. Now take the thumbs back so they touch the floor behind. Turn the palms up and circle in angel's wings. Lift up, drop the shoulders, take the thumbs back and circle. 3 more. And then from there, arms up towards the ceiling, back of the shoulders resting on the mat, and then float your shins one at a time into tabletop. Now alternate right foot, left hand. Bring them back, right hand and left foot. Right foot, left foot. Right foot, left. Right foot. Left foot, right foot, left. Come back so that the knees and the fingers are pointing towards the ceiling and change the plane. Right hand, left knee and back. Right knee and left hand. Right hand, left hand. Right hand, left. Right hand, left hand. Once more each side. And then take the feet and the hands down to the mat. Lift the arms back up. So palms now facing the wall. And then float the shins. Now step the feet 5 centimeters towards the wall. Stay with the same side, right hand, right foot. And then change over, left hand, left foot. And then take both feet, both hands down. Take the arms out to the side with the palms facing up and drop your knees over to the right. Turn your head to the left. Roll your head back to center, bring your knees back up. Take your knees over to the left, turn your head right. Bring your head back, bring your knees back. So you're back in semi-supine. Check that your heels are underneath your knees and your feet are hip width apart. And then take your hands to your abdomen. So thumbs at the bottom of your ribs, fingers on the top of front of your hips. And then just think about pelvic tilt. So tilting the pelvis so the back waist is in contact with the mat. And then the tailbone. So rocking the pelvis backwards and forwards. And then release the hands, tilt the pelvis so the tailbone's in contact with the mat. Think pelvic clock. Tailbone is 12 o'clock, back waist is 6. So just moving the weight round from 12 to 1 to 2 to 3. 3 right hip, 4, 5, 6 back waist, 7, 8, 9 left hip, 10, 11, 12 tailbone. And then take it the other way, 11, 10, 9 left hip, 8, 7, 6 back waist, 5, 4, 3 right hip, 2, 1, 12. And then tilting the pelvis so the back waist is in contact with the mat. Push into the feet and just start to curl your tail away from the mat. So you've still got the back waist in contact with the mat. And then release yourself back down. Peel up again, now coming up to your bottom ribs. Imagine you've got a cushion or a pillow between your knees, so they're not splaying out and they're not coming close together. And then release yourself back down again. Peel up again, now coming up to between your shoulder blades. And imagine putting one vertebra down at a time, like beads on a necklace. Push yourself back up again, so you come up to the top of your shoulders. Keep the collarbones soft, and then release yourself all the way down. Once you're down, bring your knees towards your chest, take a hand to each knee, and circle the knees out and away from each other. And then bring them towards each other, circling the other way. Taking your feet back down again. Push up to the top of your shoulders. Push into your left little toe and straighten your right leg. And then lift up towards the ceiling and back down. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. 3 more. And then bring that foot down, release the spine back down again. Take a breath in and then push up as you exhale, pushing into the right little toe, straightening the left leg and lift and lower. Lift and lower. Bring that left foot down, release yourself all the way down. Bring your knees back in towards your chest, this time knees and feet together, hands to the knees, little circle so you're massaging the sacrum. And then gradually spiral the circle wider. So you work into the back of the hips. And then take it the other way. Large circle, spiraling down to a small one. And then take the feet back down. This time take your hands underneath the back of your head. So your little fingers are at the base of your skull. And think carrying the weight of your head in your hands, trusting your hands. So as you exhale, lift up towards your knees. As you inhale, come back down again. If lifting your head up is not for you, you can do it the other way round. So keeping your head on the mat and bringing your knees in towards you. So your choice. Take a breath in, coming towards the knees and back down. And then next time you come down, float the shins into tabletop and we're coming to crisscross. So take a breath in, lift up and take your left elbow to your right knee and straighten your left leg. Inhale back to center. Exhale, right elbow to left knee, straighten the right leg. Over to your right, over to your left, to your right, to your left, to your right, to your left. Once more each side. And then bring your feet down, release your hands from behind your head. And bring your knees in towards your chest. And think figure eight again. So hands down either side of the hips, feet and knees together, knees towards the chest, over to your right, away from you. Bring them back towards the chest, over to the left, away from you and back. To your right, to your left, to the right, to the left, to your right, to your left. Back to center, take it the other way, away from you, over to the left and round, and then over to the right. And then back to center. Bring your knees in again and stretch your legs up towards the ceiling. And just roll your pelvis forwards so that your tailbone's in contact with the mat. And think slow pendulum. So keep the feet, legs sit together and over to the right. It's a small move. And then come back to center, over to the left. To center and right. Center and left. Center and right. Center and left. Once more each side. And then bring your feet back down again. Stretch your legs out along the mat. And then take your right leg as far to the right as you can, to keeping the back of your pelvis on the mat. And then take the left leg to join it. So you're coming into a banana shape. And then head and shoulders going over to the right. And then bring your left arm alongside your ear. So you've got a passive stretch through the side, waist, the hips, up into the armpit. So each time you breathe in, you're getting more of a stretch. Bring that left arm down and then cross your left leg over your right. Bring the left arm alongside your ear again. And again, breathe into the side ribs. And then bring that arm back. Bring your head back to center, arm across the legs, walk them back, and then to the other side. Left leg going across as far as it can. Right leg joins it. Head and shoulders go to the left, and then bring the right arm alongside the ear. Bring that right arm down, cross your right leg over your left, and then take the right arm back alongside the ear. Bring your right arm back down again. Head back to center, legs back, and coming back to semi-supine. And then floating the shins into tabletop, one at a time. Be able to see the big toes again. And take your left hand behind the back of your head, right hand to your right thigh, so the fingers are pointing up towards the knee. take a breath in. Those of you who've got dodgy necks can stay on the mat, otherwise lifting the head a little. You're going to push against your right thigh, but resist and release. So pushing as much against it as you resist and release. Push and release. Push and release. Push and release. Push and release. Hug your knees in towards your chest and then float the shins back into tabletop. This time you're going to add extending the left leg. So pushing against your right thigh, straighten your left leg and release. Push and release. Push and release. Push and release. Push and release. Hug the knees in towards the chest again. And same side. Sorry, same side. Take your right hand to your left thigh, left hand behind your head. Coming up, you can just stretch the opposite leg. So push against your left thigh, straighten your right and release. Push and release. Push and release. Push and release. Once more. And then hug the knees in towards the chest. And then from there, changing sides. So left hand to left thigh, right hand behind your head. Push against the left leg and release. 4 more. Coming back down, hug the knees into the chest. And then we're going to go with the straightening the leg. So as you push against the left leg, straighten the right and release. Push and release. Push and release. Push and release. Push and release. Again, knees in towards the chest. Opposite leg. So you're going to take your hand to your left hand to your right thigh. Coming up, straightening the left leg as you push against the right. Push and release. 3 more. And then knees in towards the chest and circle the knees. And then from there, rolling onto your right side. So coming down, you can either have your bottom arm straight, or you can have it bent underneath the side of your head. Have your knees up in front so that the knees, so you were sitting knees together, and then have your heels fairly close to your buttocks. Top hand in front of you, keep the feet together, lift the top knee, and then resist as you take it back down. Lift and push down. And then when you've done your last one, keep the knees together and lift the lower leg. And then alternate. Keep the heels together and lift the knee. Bring the knee together, lift the foot. Heels, knees, heels, knees. Heels, knees, heels, knees. Now keep the top knee bent, lift it up, bring it back and circle round. And then lift the knee again, but this time lift it towards the ceiling so that the foot is coming down towards the lower leg. And then rotate the knee and bring it back down. Lift, knee to the ceiling, foot dropping down, rotate and down. Lift, rotate and down. Lift, rotate and down. And then from there, stretch your legs out. Check you can see the big toes. Lift the top leg to hip height, kick it forwards and kick it back. And then bring the feet back together. Turn the top toes towards the ceiling so the inside edges of the heels are touching. Lift the top leg to hip height, step it back, lift again, step back, and then pulse back for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the feet back together and lift both legs. Take them back down, lift and lower, lift and lower, lift and lower, lift and lower. And then turn the bottom palm to face down, top hand resting on your top thigh, lift both legs, lift the head and shoulders, slide towards the feet, and back down. Lift and down. And then from there, bring that bottom arm back underneath the side of the head. Lift the top leg to hip height, bring the bottom leg to join it, squeeze and release. Top leg, bottom leg, squeeze, 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 release. And then roll onto your front. One hand on top of the other, forehead down on top of the back of the hands. Extend your right leg, keep the front of the hips on the mat, lift that leg up and draw circles on the wall behind you. 5 in one direction, and then 5 in the opposite direction. And then bring that leg down, extend the left leg, lift it up and circle. And then take it the other way. And then widen the knees, bring the soles of the feet together, bring the heels towards the buttocks, then take the toes to the mat. Heels, toes, heels, toes, heels, toes, heels, toes. And then straighten the legs, bring them back parallel, navel to spine, and think about extending your neck. So crank the head towards the wall in front of you, lifting your head away from the back of your hands and back down. Lift and lower. And then from there, take your hands outside your mat, fingertips about level with your eyes, elbows bent. Lift the head and shoulders, lift yourself up away from your mat, and then bend your elbows, bring yourself back down. And then slide your hands under your shoulders, push yourself back so that you're coming back to either a shell shape with your hands by your feet, or extending your arms in front, or diamond with the big toes together and the knees wide. And then coming to lie on your left side. So knees together, feet together. Knees out in front of you. Top hand to steady you. Keep the feet together, coming into climb, lifting the top knee and then resisting as you take it back down. Lift and push down. 3 more. And then keep the knees together, lift the lower leg. And then alternate. Heels together, knees together. And then keeping the top knee bent, lift it up, circle it back. And again, lift the knee and then rotate so the knee's pointing to the ceiling and the foot is pointing to the floor and back down. Lift, rotate and turn back. And then slide the legs away so you can see the big toes. Lift the top leg to hip height, kick it forwards, kick it back. And then bring the feet back together. Heels together with the toes top toes turning towards the ceiling. Lift up to hip height, step back, lift again, step back, and then pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Feet back together. And then lift both legs. And back down. Lift and lower. And then bottom hand down, top hand resting on the top thighs. Lift both legs, head and shoulders slide towards the feet and back. Bring that bottom arm underneath the side of the head, top hand in front of you. Extend the top leg, lift it up, and bring the bottom leg to join it. Squeeze and release. Top leg, bottom leg, squeeze, 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 release. And then roll onto your front, come up onto all fours. So your knees are underneath your hips. Your hands are underneath your shoulders and come into threading the needle. Lift your left hand up, turn it over, slide it through. So you're coming down onto the side of your head and pushing into your right hand. So the elbows up towards the ceiling. Push into that hand, bring yourself back up, swap over, right hand, turn it over, slide it through, coming back down. Bring yourself back up again. Hands level, suck the navel back towards the spine and release. Navel to spine, tuck the tail under and release. Navel to spine, tail tucking under, arch the back, drop the head down. And then tailbone back, release the belly looking forwards. Coming back to a flat back, tuck the toes under, walk the hands back towards the knees, slowly unroll up. Just like that. And coming up, take one arm up towards the ceiling, over towards the opposite knee, change hands, keeping the circle going. And then take it the other way. Interlink the fingers and lift up. Over to one side. Over to the other. And release. Well done, ladies. Hope you were able to hear me and see me.
Yes.
Unmute yourselves.
Yes, I think I've
Very
unmuted
good.
myself.
Thanks, Jo.
Yeah.
Right.
Much.
Okay, so plan is same time, same place next week.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
thank you.
Enjoy the sunshine if you still got it where you are.
Yeah, that's great.
It looks good out
Thank
there.
you, Jo.
Thank you
Okay.
very much.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Bye. Bye, everyone. Oh, I don't know what to do now.
If you press the top right corner, Judith, you're
Top
going to
right
cross and
corner?
it will say leave meeting. You've got the choice of leaving the
Oh,
meeting or...
mine is at the bottom right.
Oh, yours
Okay.
is bottom right. Yeah, each device is slightly different.
Different. Okay.
Or if I end the meeting, Judith,